This week on the Coach and the Casual, we have the next fierce lightweight champ, Talon Carvalho. We're going to talk about UFC 297. The Casual wants to put 10 G's on DDP. I'm going to find a way to either make that bet or talk him out of it. Let's get into this episode.
You know, we're doing that intro there, Talon. How does that feel to hear the next lightweight champion? What does that, when you're hearing it, does it sound real? Does it sound like it's something that you never, what is that to you?
It's pretty sick to me. I mean, I just started MMA about a year ago, February of 23, I believe. So it's happened quick, but I've put in a lot of work. So, I mean, I believe it, you know, and it's happening. So I got to believe it.
But you're a good athlete. Like other sports, you played your whole life.
Yeah.
So it's not like believe in the training.
So this has always been an honest question of mine, and you guys can debate it or not. But can it really be? Can soccer really be considered a sport? Not really, right? Especially men's soccer is a lot.
Speaking of this, have you seen
Dana
White
too?
hates soccer?
Yeah.
Dana White's always ragging on it. For some reason, it's back up in the underground. A bunch of these underground trolls out there. I want you to tag this because I'm going to talk shit to them. They're all new fans, you know. They'll call me out when I misquote Connor. Yeah. But then they're like, one of them shared something the other day, like, why does Dana have an issue with soccer? Like, why does he? Because there's all these videos of him talking shit. Well, guess what? You know why Dana hates soccer? It's the funniest thing. It was like during the World Cup a long time ago. And, you know, like during the World Cup, they just nonstop like, and apparently that noise broke him. Yeah, and it must have messed up his ears because he was like sharing videos like, why does everyone have to make that much noise? Like, why can't they just cheer? They're like, nothing's going on. And, you know, and so like all the added context.
Yeah, but he's right, dude. 90 minutes, are an incredible game.
Yeah.
Final score, 2-1.
Yeah, that's what he was like.
Oh my gosh.
What I really believe was the noise. Yeah.
Speed of play.
Yeah.
Speed of play.
I love playing soccer. I'll watch it live. But yeah, watching on TV to me is a night. It's a nap time.
It's professional floppers. For me, I could never.
What about basketball though? Do you watch that on?
Basketball, I'll watch because
On TV?
on TV. Playoffs. To be honest, I could watch playoff soccer. I like anything with like high stakes.
Yeah, I like playoffs. As long as you got some money riding on the line.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what, if you put a bet on anything, that is the antidote. Like if you want to watch anything, I could watch a Browns game right now because I got $1,000. I got the mortgage riding on it.
Yeah.
Oh man, nothing feels better than when you might have to get evicted.
Yeah. That's like the real fucking.
I'm not joking. This is real. So I found this one website. And I'm not allowed to say it, but. I was betting on women's Chinese soccer that was happening at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And this was when I was like broke. And I'd come up at like 5 a.m. and tell Andrea like, the Dragons lost, baby. I'm in trouble. She'd be like, what is going on here?
You're like,
nothing's good like that. What? So soccer, how long were you a college athlete or with it or what?
No, I didn't play in college. But I played my whole life, like from 5 years old up until my senior year of high school, but I kind of got burnt out. But I played everything, like basketball.
Was that mostly because your parents wouldn't sign the football waiver and so you had to play soccer?
I had to convince my parents to sign the football waiver in sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then I quit. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Don't listen to him. He quit a football game and pretended to have a concussion one time.
I got rocked. I'm not going to stay in there.
Yeah.
I was 5'3", like 140, and I got rocked by this dude who was committed to USC. So get me out of that game 100 times.
I don't belong
That's like you getting in the ring right now with John Jones. It's like, I'll just pretend to be injured. I want out.
So you don't have that, right? You would just keep going.
No, I just keep going.
It's easy. I'm telling you, that's easy to say. Okay,
he's got a different switch, bro. Yeah. That's why he's the champ, and you're still the casual. You guys have trained the same amount of time.
This is an honest question because obviously, when guys are fighting pro and making money, it's like, oh, I'm fighting for the championship. That means a lot more exposure, a lot more money, but you're at a much different stage in your career, right? Obviously, very brand new. What's it like fighting for an AMI title? I mean, what
Oh, he said it so just sustained.
What stepping stone is that for you?
Title.
Yeah, it's an
what fucking title do you have, dude?
I'm happy with it. Like, It's
And,
just,
I'm genuinely not insulting. I'm saying,
No, yeah.
I'm saying for a world title in the UFC, it means so much more money and the eyes on you. But you're fighting in a big Utah promotion, but in the grand scheme of things, a smaller promotion. What kind of motivation does that give you aside from just wanting to be a competitive person?
I was always motivated in soccer to win a championship trophy, so it's like the same, except it's got more stakes because it's all me and it's a fight as well. It's a little different than passing a soccer ball around. So I'm just excited to get a championship belt. I want to see a little gold thing right there.
And then send us a picture of just that, right?
Yeah, just
it's just that, bro.
It'd have to be a pretty deep
Yeah.
belt because Talon's got a knee knocker.
Yeah. I'll have to be deep belt. I mean, we'll get back into this, but like, Talon is when we did
The biggest lady killer in the state of
around, man. We can't bring around the wives.
Before we talk about that, who do you think is dealing with more schmeat? It's him or the big guy, Silverback. What's his name?
Oh, Silverback.
Eric Hyman.
How big is it? He said to
That's
his
got to be at
knees,
least a foot and a half
dude.
long. I'll tell you, geez,
I told him we're gonna have a weekly segment about it.
If you haven't seen that episode, go back and look at Eric Hyman. It's one of our earlier episodes.
Please watch. Yeah.
But you guys went to women's self-defense course?
Yeah, I teach women's self-defense, and we do it all over corporate. And usually, it's pretty good. But we did a sorority self-defense. What was the name of the sorority?
Chi Omega.
Chi Omega.
Omega.
And then I was like, my wife was like, bring Talon. Now I know why. I know why. And then until we get there, the ladies are like, like literally, I was like, felt like I was a freaking
Like Justin
beetle.
Bieber.
Yeah, and then the other day I'm holding pads for him, and he's like telling me a story about herding cows with his grandpa, and I'm like, geez, man, that's sexy. And then he was just telling us he wants to be a firefighter.
He's a firefighter, volunteer fighter. We were saying that the chicks over at that sorority are lighting fires on purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe Talon will show up.
Yeah, his ticket sales went through the roof after that. They were all there like, we gotta watch my baby.
There's a dorm on fire at least every other week. So.
Crazy.
He comes in, it's pretty fun, right?
Yeah, it is fun.
That's the funnest part about fighting, right?
Yeah.
And we had talked a little bit off camera before this, but what was your you doing your fireman and certification? But what kind of was your first intro into MMA?
I did BJJ when I was like 8 to 9 years old for about a year with my brother. I kind of just did it because my brother was doing it. I was not like super into it. I was kind of afraid to be barefooted in like a room just getting rolled on.
And
but
BJJ, just for the casuals listening, is a lot different than BBC, and we'll talk about that. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead. You're doing BJJ when you were younger.
Fuck. That one got me. But yeah, I like lost a tournament and I just got discouraged and I didn't want to do it anymore. My parents let me quit, and I was doing a bunch of other sports too, so they weren't like too disappointed in me not wanting to do BJJ. But then I moved out here, and I was here for like a year, and I didn't have much going on other than school and work, and I was like, I got to get something going on. I got to do something, and so found the MMA gym, and I loved it. So that's where I'm at.
When and then at some point you found the pit. When you first met Talon coming into the pit, what was that like? When you got over when you were able to hide your erection.
Like, look, I even tried to match him today. I try to dress like him as much as I can.
Maybe somebody will confuse you.
Yeah.
With Talon. Like, is that
dude,
Talon?
I'll have to do the cut thing. I see all the kids doing that. I'm like, jeez, man. I tried. That's what I thought,
But you had talked about when Court was here, like you like to see a guy come in and have some talent like immediately, right?
Yeah.
Was that what it was like seeing?
Oh yeah. I mean, he was in there competing with kids that have been training way longer, and I was like, oh man, this guy's a dog. And he goes, I want to fight. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
And then I was like, you really do? He's like, yeah, I want to try to fight. And I signed him up and went out there and slept the dude. And I was like, yeah, he's just, some people are just cut from different cloths. Some people need to be like, what's the word? Like coddled up, And some people you throw to the wolves and they come back the wolf killer.
Kind of thing,
yeah, he's the wolf slayer now,
You had said something about Talon one time. Me and Ramsey talk about you a lot.
Honestly, and we
appreciate that.
giggle.
It's an uncomfortable amount.
Yeah,
Our wives are like,
yeah.
What's going on? Is Talon a chick?
Yeah, they join in. They're like,
But one of the things you said is that just a natural athlete, right? How much do you think natural athlete puts you above somebody who's been training for a long time? Because for me, I'm a natural athlete, but I get whooped on when I come into the gym a lot of the time. Do you think
maybe you're not a natural athlete? Like,
do you think natural athlete plays a lot more of a part in that?
well, you got to be that and tenacious, you know? And like I would see him getting frustrated, losing rounds and trying to figure out ways and trying to like accelerate and being competitive. It can't just be an athlete and be like, oh, I lost, you know, like roll over there, tap out real easy. You know, I would be like, tap out, Talon. You don't know what you're doing yet. Relax, you know. And then,
Give me an ankle lock or a
yeah,
heel hook or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's, but then it's like, I mean, I hate to break the story to everybody. You know, like I remember being in college wrestling and our team was like reading goals, and there was some people with unrealistic goals. You know, they'd be like, I want to be a national champ. And you're like, you can't even make the freaking starting lineup here. What are you talking about? You know, and like, I remember that moment was like, oh, people just
Don't
say,
understand. Yeah.
yeah, they don't understand. While like, when he was like, oh yeah, I want to be a top level fighter in the world, I was like, oh yeah, you could do that.
I mean, that kind of transitions. We'll talk more about your fights, but top level athletes kind of transitions to what's about to be happening right now. We need to talk about 297. And the big thing, I mean, there's a lot of people in that card. A lot of people. My big rule.
If it happens, I mean, DDP might get stabbed apparently before.
That, honestly, Sean Strickland is a legitimate psychopath.
He's from Corona, California. Like, I don't think you know San Bernardino, right?
San Bernardino,
San Bernardino,
yeah.
California.
Here's the thing,
I don't know what's there other than the prison, really.
Yeah.
Right?
But here's what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, do you see how, I mean, you guys have both seen interviews between the two and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen how unfazed Dricus is?
Yeah.
And I'll
true.
tell you why. Dricus comes from a place that you could never understand. He's from South Africa. Right? I lived in South Africa for 2 years. I saw things that still, sometimes when I close my eyes, I still see these. One time I was driving, no joke, and I saw a literal mob running. It was like the 1800s, and it was 200 people, and one guy was out ahead, right? And he was a thief, and they were chasing him because in South Africa they were chasing him with tires because they put it over you and they light it on fire. They light the tire on fire. They kill you.
Hey, in the Middle East, they'll chop off your arm.
In their biggest holiday in South Africa is Easter, right? And they get drunk like you couldn't believe. I had a guy, so I was hitchhiking in South Africa one time, and the way you hitchhike is you just put your hand out and you go like this a bunch, right? And this car pulls over and this guy gets out and he walks up and he's yelling at me, right? And I'm kind of looking over at my companion and all of a sudden, boom, he hits me straight in the face, right? And he's drunk. I can smell his breath. And it was one of those things that happened so quick. I was unfazed, obviously. But
Yeah,
it happened
right. You probably cried.
It happened so quick that you're like, did that just happen? You know, so you're still like in shock. And I look over at my companion, I'm like, did he just hit me? And he was like, yeah, he hits you. I was like, hey man, calm down, relax. But they come from a land that it's like when you're driving at night through Johannesburg, you put on your emergency lights and you drive through red lights. Because if you stop at a red light, carjackers come bust your window and kill you.
Yeah.
So that's however hard Corona is. South Africa, he's just surviving out there.
Bro, what about Oakland? You ever been to Oakland?
No.
Same thing in Oakland.
Same thing,
They
yeah.
sit on the corner, right?
Yeah.
Like you're from the Bay.
I'm not from the Bay. I'm from SoCal.
Oh, SoCal, yeah. But they do it in the Southern California
Yeah.
too. Like they'll sit on the corner, bro, in Oakland and just they'll decide if they want to jump you or not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard, but at the end of the day, that doesn't change the fact where DDP gets tired. He's gonna come out. He might take Strickland down, but he's gonna overblow his load because he has and then all those South Africans on YouTube and lighting him up, like blowing him up, like he knows what he's talking about. He knows
true.
more than the coach. And
It's true, he's a boor, but what I'm telling you
He's
is that
boor.
how many times since that scuffle have you heard Dricus really talk about Strickland? Basically, not at all. But Strickland's going on every podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to stab him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
He's in his head.
he's in his head.
yeah, I can see that. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
that's
would
why-
you be like talking shit, or what would you just be like?
Whatever. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
That's what I'm saying is that I'm happy to put 10 G's on Dricus. I would bet my entire house on Dricus if the casino would let me put that up.
Dude, you really would?
I'm telling you.
Okay, let's hear the odds right here. I have them. So the odds are -135 for Sean Strickland. Dricus Du Plessis is +114.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Not only am I,
dang near even.
I'm getting a return on it, like over the top, because the thing is, Dricus is going to wear him out. What is your?
How is Dricus going to wear him out if he's the one that gets tired?
That was
He's
the
got
wrong.
full nose air now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
That's the thing. Did you see all those comments? Did you see all
my
those comments in the last video? He got 5% of air. last time.
8% is what everyone keeps saying to
And
me
he
on
beat the crap out of Whitaker.
YouTube. Old Whitaker. YouTube's like 8. Everyone's like 8%. I'm like, that's a very specific number.
I don't know what that means.
8%.
8%.
That means 92% is now open.
No
I'm not.
way.
I legitimately think Dricus could go 10 rounds with Strickland. That's real.
I mean, I wish for my heart that Dricus could win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Strickland's just gonna be able to okay, he's gonna take. Okay, you want to know the truth? What's probably gonna happen? They're gonna come out
First round KO.
first round. Dricus is gonna land some hard shots on him. And Sean's probably going to get hurt, but Sean just is a demon and will just keep coming. And then he's probably going to Dricus is going to shoot in. Sean's going to probably get taken down and then probably going to end the round like that. Well, because Dricus will be tired and Sean will be like, not strong enough. Second round, come out. Once again, Dricus is going to come across, probably have enough for the second win, and he's going to be trying to take him down. But that second takedown is going to be harder. And then maybe he's going to get him down, wear him down, and Sean's just going to be on his back doing like Nate Diaz stuff, constantly standing up. Third round, he's going to start seeing the shift because Dricus is exhausted. Fourth round, you're going to see the finish, TKO. He's not going to finish him, but he's going to keep on peppering him, hurt him, and then Dricus is not going to be able to do it. Boom.
So do you think Strickland just sets the pace the whole fight, or kind of just after the takedown, or do you think he's just going to keep peppering him?
I think he's going to keep peppering him, but his first 2 rounds, he's like, he's going to
the
go
pace.
in. Yeah, I'm probably going to get hit and taken down because Dricus is so explosive and fast. But okay, and then someone even, what's the Philly shell defense for? To deal with a more explosive, bigger, stronger fighter.
Philly shell defense is built to do that in boxing.
In boxing, but he makes it work
He's
in
going to
MMA.
take him to the ground. He's going to take him to deep waters. He's going to have Sean Strickland discover new things about himself, right? He's going to heal the trauma that Sean Strickland had with his father.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I think the best thing for Dricus is he loves it. And I think the
He's
deeper,
gonna be like a kid in the candy store. He's so excited.
The fight gets deeper. He's like having more fun while Strickland's trauma's coming up. But it sounds deep, so I don't think they can solve it out there.
I think it's a first round knockout
Oh my gosh, yeah.
or TKO. I won't say if it's going to be a clean knockout, but I think it's a first round by Dricus. He's just so. But you saw how big this
he
dude
is.
was.
Yeah.
He's huge.
I mean, that would be the other, either what I said is going to happen or that. I don't think any
Because
other.
Izzy is not this monster. Izzy's not huge.
No.
He's just so technical.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you watch old Izzy kickboxing, he is small, dude. Like
Small.
he really is small. Like I didn't.
Of course, Sean goes up against a big boy.
He ain't
Pajero.
small no mo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
saw
follow
that.
Izzy.
You said that one where he's on a boat. and it
Yeah,
was
with his
gigantic?
life jacket's cutting off circulation. Man. I was like, can I get whatever vitamins we're on
Did
now?
you see he also beat that case in New Zealand? He had the drunk driving case and he beat it.
Yeah. He's not small no mo.
Yeah.
No drunk driving.
Talon, what do you think's happening? What's your call?
I like Dricus personally. I think Dricus kind of looks like he's tired though, even when he's just regularly fighting. He's just got that weird movement where he looks tired. I
8%,
feel like.
baby. Now he's at 100.
But
But
yeah, he looks-
in honor of true like Dricus and his coach, you are Talon's coach, right? So you guys should kiss on camera.
Yeah. Well, one of the bets we're gonna make, loser has to jump in the Provo River in the middle of the winter.
Cold plunge in the Provo
Cold
River.
plunge in the Provo River. Deal.
Yeah, deal.
nice.
Done.
I wish I could take that $10,000 bet, but I don't know.
You just got past Christmas.
Yeah. You know, tax season's
Yeah,
around
yeah,
the corner.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel guaranteed that I would take it, but
Yeah, hell
yeah, I would. But then let's go co-main event.
Yeah, some of the other ones.
Rachel Pennington versus Myra.
So I've got this rule personally that if I
Raquel, I mean.
have to Google a fighter, they shouldn't be on the card. And so that's really, 297 should only be Dricus and Strickland because I
Yeah.
don't know who anybody else is.
Yeah.
Never heard of
We
these
could
people.
talk about Talon. Who do you have winning that fight?
Between
Pennington, yeah.
I don't know. I
Mariah?
don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's going to be a boring fight.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, right?
Yeah.
Stover's probably.
They should introduce hair pulling into girl
Yeah,
fights.
no, and Myra promised she'll make it exciting because she's like she admitted, right? Did you guys see that? I think she's like, on paper it's gonna be boring, but I'll go out there and make it exciting. But let's move on. Next one.
Maybe she'll try to make it interesting or exciting. Maybe she'll try and bang the other chick's husband beforehand.
And honestly, if you're taking a if you're taking a bet, what are they? Featherweights, right? Featherweight women bets are terrible.
Okay, so each
They're
one of those
even.
Each one of those. Okay, you'll always say against me, I'll lose. But either one of those, who do you think wins? One of them or Talon?
Oh, Talon.
You think? Okay, so how does Talon beat both of them up? But I've whooped Talon's ass before.
Yeah. Well, they would just be able to wear you down. That's the difference. Until you learn how to like control your cardio, you're just gonna go.
You don't
in.
need your cardio for a 13-second knockout. Then you're proper number
That's
12.
why
Yeah,
you're
be careful.
taking
Do you watch the punch
DDP.
coach,
That's
dude?
why. That's why you're taking DDP. Yeah, but like, I wouldn't bet on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you like to bet, don't bet on that. That's just kind of a women's, especially the bigger women's weight. It's so like kind of like I don't know
It's the bantamweight title.
or
For the-
bantamweight.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to bet on the bantamweights because it's such a
Yeah.
crapshoot. I don't
Bueno Silva's coming off 3 out of the last 4 wins. She just came off a no decision against Holly Holm.
Yeah. The only
So-
time I bet on women is if you have an absolute favorite, you know what I mean? Like, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put her in my parlay with the favorite. That's the
When
only-
does a no decision happen? What's no decision? What determines a no decision?
like a foul early on.
Okay,
Unintentional
What
foul.
about a draw? How could there be a draw in a 3-round fight? I guess one was a 10-8 and the other 2 were regular.
Yeah.
Or a
Or-
no contest.
Or one person, one judge the other, and then the other one would just
Abdicate?
give it, they give it like 10-8.
What
Like a Jordy draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what about no contest? Same as
Unintentional foul. Yeah.
like Johnny Walker.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
of
did you
Johnny
watch?
Walker.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
jeez.
bet on that one, and when it went and pushed, I was like, "You got so lucky."
Johnny
and
Walker
then
got beat
everybody
the hell.
online's like this. So we know that he's gonna get his ass kicked, right? Like everyone knows, and it was kind of a close bet,
Yeah, he got
honestly,
well.
because of the no contest. But that was, bro. Onkolov is,
That was gruesome.
yeah. Onkolov should be the middleweight champ, right?
Yeah. No,
know,
he's
bro.
light
Or
heavyweight.
light heavyweight. I mean, he'd be light heavyweight champ. I think he beats Poton today.
You're saying light heavyweight? He'd have to fight right now. He'd have to fight against
Alex.
Alex? You think he beats Alex?
Yes.
But what about Alex's pressure? I feel like Johnny didn't put any pressure and he was just able to like stand and.
But
figure him
Onkolov
out.
didn't even
Can
grapple.
you,
him.
okay,
That's
but can we
true.
just take a second and
No,
and,
Onkolov's grappling.
Is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can we
Thank
take
you.
a second and really appreciate how much Ramsey flip flops? Because 4 episodes ago, he's saying that Alex Pereira is the greatest athlete of all
Oh yeah,
time.
he is. But
Greatest
athlete.
combat sports
athlete
Now
of
he's
all
saying he's
time
losing
because he
to somebody.
started late in his life. But for him to be able to compete in an actual fight with the Onklov, who's been grappling since he's a childhood, that's not possible. You know what I mean? That'd be like saying like Conor can't be a GOAT-list because he lost to Mayweather in a boxing match. You know what I mean? That's how big of a transition it's for Alex. That's why Alex is the GOAT. It's mind-boggling to see someone start.
Wow, you spent 20 minutes telling me he's the
Yeah.
greatest
For
combat
sure.
sports athlete of all time.
But he's not going to be the longest reigning. He's going to lose against Dagestani Russian wrestler.
I don't know.
I mean, Onkolov would beat him. I don't know, but that was pretty nasty.
How would you
Well,
do
he
it?
did pretty good against Jan though.
Yeah.
And survived.
But Onkolov and Jan, I think, are two different beasts.
Yeah.
Jan's got the power, but Onkolov just hasn't been in.
You
They
know
had the
what?
draw. Remember their fight?
Yeah.
That was
Enclave and Jan,
crazy.
Yeah. And, and I think Jan gassed out against Poton, while Onkolov's grappling was better in that exchange. I mean, he won the grappling exchange.
What I've come to realize is I think Ramsey actually gets paid. I think he's a paid shield for the Dagestanis.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never heard somebody be more supportive of a region
DC.
than
What about
Yeah,
DC? Yeah.
than Ramsey Nijem.
DC,
It's
anyone
wild.
from Dagestan, DC's like, oh, he's real good. If you just, I'm like, you don't say no,
Ramsey's just a homer for the region. I'll tell you what. Bilal somehow is going to kill Leon because
No, he's not gonna kill him.
You said he had it in the bag. I'm just saying
he's gonna win a unanimous decision.
Also, speaking of that,
wins?
Unanimous decision.
Like
I think just pressure,
grappling,
and then like he might eat a couple early shots, but then he'll keep taking him down, jabbing him, 1-2ing him, putting him on the.
Speaking of that region, though, you hear the rumors about Khabib's coming back.
Yeah, for UFC 300.
That's crazy.
His coach says that he doesn't train with me unless he's getting in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was there training, right? I hope Khabib comes back UFC 300.
His coach said he's not going to come back for UFC 300.
Who said that?
His coach. He said he's just doing cardio right now. He's not doing any training.
But he might be coming back.
You know what I bet he's coming back for?
Connor?
No. Oh, maybe Connor. But guess where? UFC Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
Because did you see what happened with the UFC Saudi Arabia? They were putting together a card, hauling home main events. Uppers that Saudi Arabia said, nish, we don't want this. And then they canceled it. And then now they're going back June. So rumor is they might move International Summer Fight Week to Saudi Arabia.
Imagine if Connor fought there, they'd literally tear him apart.
No,
but he was just there for Ngannou's fight, huh?
They don't disrespect. He's a star to them, and they love TV show. You know what I mean? Connor's there all the time.
Yeah,
he was there for the boxing, getting treated like a king. Like, to be honest, I like their fans because whether they're booing or cheering, at the end of the day, it's like the Japanese. They like cheer you on, you know. Well, here you might get assaulted, or Brazil. Brazil, you will get assaulted.
Chael Sonnen had armed guards as he was doing the Ultimate Fighter.
Well, Connor will walk safely amongst Saudi Arabia and he's probably down. He'll make more money. If that happened, UFC, if you can make that happen, you are
Connor versus Khabib.
Yeah. What's that called? That program to make dreams come true?
Oh, Make a Wish.
Yeah, Make a Wish. I'll kill Kyle. But anyways, though, let's move down the card more. There's Neil Magny, Mike Malott. I mean, that one's kind of a give me. Mike Malott, I think, is.
I got Mike Malott.
Yeah. Neil Magny is like that's a 3-1 favorite. And
yeah.
I like Neil Magny as a American hero, but.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh, yeah, Neil Magny.
Yeah, Neil Magny. He was like, but that's not. Then Chris Curtis, Mark Andre, but that one's actually kind of a pick 'em, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have Chris Curtis on that one. He's the favorite. And then we'll go Arnold Allen.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. You like Arnold?
I like Arnold, yeah.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of you, right?
Yeah. He had that sick war against Max Holloway. He obviously lost.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good fight, right?
Good fight.
So that would be a good one. But
what's that dude?
Mozar Evidine or whatever his name is. This is the problem, though. He's Evaliv. He is the next featherweight champ. Like, everyone doesn't, like, if you look at the Dagestani, Russian, or whatever, all those guys that are murdering people, he's the #1 featherweight. He is young, undefeated. Dude, he's probably going to murder Arnold, but, like, I bet he's the next one. And then my personal favorite, Brad Coteau, or Cotono, or whatever. Yeah. 2-time tough champ.
Hell yeah.
I'm not joking. Aside from Chris Curtis. Okay, I'm really not joking. Aside from Chris Curtis, who you've only told me about.
Yeah, he only knows Chris Curtis because we almost had him on the podcast.
Yeah. And if you hadn't told me, I wouldn't.
And
I
then
wouldn't
Zach told him stories about fighting here. Yeah.
I wouldn't know this entire card.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
it was a crappy card, but they lost 2 of the biggest names. Dominic Reyes was supposed to be on it, and then there was
Jan
one more.
Blachowicz.
Yeah, Jan Blachowicz. Yeah. So
Dom was gonna fight who? Dom?
No, he was gonna fight. Who was it?
Do you think that's why Joe Rogan pulled out and it's gonna be Cruz? Is because it's like, dude, this is a stupid card. I don't want to.
Yeah, I bet so, dude. I mean, I might pull out and go watch some UVU wrestling versus Wyoming wrestling.
You will be in Miami.
Oh yeah.
For this fight.
Yeah.
We got a little something cooking.
We'll be in Miami. Yeah, we cooking.
Let's just break the news. We got something cooking. Ramsey's gonna be taking his coaching talents to South Beach. What's happening?
So we're reached out by Sneeko and his team about getting him ready to fight, which we want to talk about, that Mikey guy. Yeah. You know, Mikey called him out. I guess there's some bullying. Okay, you know, I'm 35, so I don't know streamers or anything like this. So the Sneeko guy, we have kids, so we've been learning. But tell us about him, dude.
I don't know much about Sneeko. I
Okay.
mean, I know he's a TikToker. That's what he got famous from, I think. But Mikey's a little savage. He's gonna shred Sneeko's leg probably.
Yeah,
Is his move the heel hook? Because everybody keeps just saying he's going to heel hook him.
That's
Everybody
all he
online-
does.
Everybody online was saying he was going to heel hook Ramsey.
no way. And then you know what? I respond to that. I said, last world jiu-jitsu champion that tried to heel hook me, I elbowed him to the shadow realms. Like, I literally killed him, dude. And like, the heel hooks don't work. It's bullshit. If you thought they worked in a real fight, they work in jiu-jitsu because jiu-jitsu is a sport. It's no longer self-defense. And even you saw Aljo talking about that, like, because he got in that jiu-jitsu match.
Pulling guard and stuff,
Yeah, and the
yeah.
guy was just pulling guard, and it was like 10 minutes, the guy's sitting there, and Aljo kind of not be able to pass his guard. It was lame, dude.
Yeah.
It's just lame. It's not a real sport, but it doesn't matter. Like, and even in a real, he's challenging him in one, right?
Yeah.
One, you can soccer kick to the head. So I was like, go pro. Yeah, let him heel hook you and just stomp him in the fucking head, because that shit don't work, and it pisses me off.
So Ramsey's a little
How do I
passionate.
really feel about it?
But yeah, so we're going down. We're going down to Miami this week. We're gonna meet with Sneeko. I'm gonna roll with him if he wants.
Yeah.
So you're gonna coach him for a couple days.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep you white belts away from each other so they don't hurt each other, dude. The most
But,
dangerous role is 2 white belts.
We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that's where all the current events is what's coming up. That does allow us to kind of get into our guests, though. Talon, you are now 3-0, right?
Yep.
In the Fierce Fighting promotion. I watched your last fight. I'll be honest, I was hype as hell. I had the table up by the gate, but I went over when you guys were doing the walkout. I was like, oh! I knew you were gonna win by the way you dapped me up. I was like, oh, that bro's gonna win. And just how'd you feel walking in there? Because I remember that guy. What was his name? Moises or something?
Yeah, Moises Ostlund. Yep.
He was kind of unknown. He was coming out of California, and he was talking a little shit beforehand, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was talking a little shit. We had in the night before at the weigh-ins.
At the weigh-ins, I saw you guys. You guys were the only ones that didn't like dap up. You were
Yeah.
like,
I was standing on one side of the room. He was on the other. We were taking our shirts off, getting ready to walk out, and it's like 2 minutes before we're supposed to walk out and do that. And he's just mean mugging me, and I was like, yeah, he's already he already wants it, dude. Like, what are we doing over here? We gotta fight tomorrow. But so I
He's
just
like
felt that energy.
DDP and the other guy's the Strickland.
Yeah. So I just felt that energy, and I was like, might as well talk my own shit too.
Yeah.
So when I walked in the cage, I'm not sure if he is a Spanish speaker. I think he is. I could be wrong, but I told him "Estás acabado" in the cage once I walked in, which means you're finished.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah, yeah. And it was quick,
You
man.
had that fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a quick fight.
You were there for that, right?
Yeah.
I could hear you on the camera.
Yeah, I was screaming.
I could hear you
Hey,
yelling.
did you hear some of my coaching? I was hands up.
Hands
And your
up,
hands would go
yeah.
up. I was like, yeah. Oh, you're
People
just like,
respond well to your voice, Kyle. Boom. We can even use this clip if we want on the.
You got it playing right now. One of the things that I was kind of worried about with when it was happening was that you stunned him and then you kind of went in and then you stayed back for a second, and right when you stayed back for a second, he threw a big
Yeah.
right one that would have been
Yep.
trouble for you. What kind of where did you find that discipline?
Right there,
when you
yeah.
when you see a guy get
Watch,
stunned,
pause, and rewind it right there. This is actually, and it's kind of interesting because, especially being
oof,
on this as the coach, this is kind of one of the most dangerous places for both people, right? Because Talon has him hurt on the fence, but he's also hurt and he's going to throw something big, like right here. And this is like one of the places where I've actually been hurt myself in fights too. And you see it a lot because look, he's like covered. And he just rips one, just not even have to look. And that's the kind of where like the hardest part is to become like a killer.
Yeah.
Is because you see our other killer, Julian. He does a good job. Like once he gets someone on the fence, I was just like, and that was my biggest downfall. But Julian would like lock in and start fainting and make the opening. Because like you always think about like a hurt animal. When they're like backed in the corner, that's when they're most dangerous, and they'll just like lunge out for one big kill, you know? But you want to like pull their lunge out and then kill them.
were you conscious about that patience and discipline, or did it just happen?
It was kind of instinctual, but I knew like not because in my second fight, I kind of got overzealous for the finish, and the guy was able to catch my leg and go for a takedown. Luckily, I was able to sprawl out. See, I got too overzealous, so he was able to get that leg. So this one, I was like, be a little bit more patient. And
Great wrestling defense, though, bro.
yes, sir. That crossface right there.
Dude, that's so beautiful right there, that sprawling.
Boom.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, to be able to do that in his, like, little bit of, like, go back to that, like, where he's sprawling on this kid. This is insane. That's what I'm saying. I saw him doing this in the gym after learning how to sprawl week 1. That's what I mean when you see a different level athlete. Like, because most people, this kid grew up wrestling that he's fighting. And most people, it's hard to, like, you're learning that. How hard is it to defend a takedown?
Well, for me, pretty easy, but
Yeah.
yeah,
do
but difficult. Yeah, but
And to be able to, like, actually connect your brain to the sprawl,
you know, one of the things I've noticed is that's problematic. Just because I go to the pit, I'm hanging out with Ramsey, he's the coach. But what I've noticed is that once you get in there, a couple of guys deviate from the game plan. I mean, I'll even talk to them the night before, like, what's the game plan? They'll say, well, we're gonna grapple, we're gonna this. And then we get in there and it doesn't happen like that at all, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're in there, how do you keep the sense of what the coaching was? And how much of it do you let because you want to set the pace. You don't want this guy to set the pace,
Yeah. Well, when I'm in the cage and they're like doing all the name calling, you're always talking to me, like repeating the game plan and like just breathe and stay calm. And so that kind of helps, like just being in my own head, not thinking about I'm about to get into a fight right now. More like, okay, hands up, chin down, set up my kicks with my punches, and just all those basics like that. And I think that's what I have to do is just stick to the basics for right now until I can evolve more and more as a fighter and get better. And then really.
Well, I mean, and then you learn, just like any sport, the more you evolve, the better at basics everyone is.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Any sport.
It just takes like a lot of trust in the coach, I think, because it's like Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. But I think a lot of people would actually be better served, even after they get hit in the mouth, to still keep the plan. Right. But I think once they get in the mouth, they just freak out.
Yeah.
I think it takes a lot of trust in the coach, and I think that's important.
And yourself,
definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of a challenge, especially fighting is a lot different. Like, you get scored on in a basketball game and things start going south and you're like, oh man, and then you lose, you go home and coach yells. But in a fight, things start going south, you're going to lose brain cells, like or break your arm. Like we were talking about with Kevin fighting to Jackson, he broke his arm when he was winning that fight, started going south, and to be able to keep that mental fortitude to like initiate the game plan while I'm getting beat up,
Yeah.
Is it different for you, Ramsey, to be? Is it here's the other question: is you keep getting first round finishes, right? So it kind of makes it difficult to be able to assess the first round and then coach you. Can we let one or two get to a second or third round so we can do a little?
Hey,
coaching?
I mean, yeah. But this next fight, February 10th, fierce fighting. You can watch it online. You can order the pay-per-view, or you can come to the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake. He's fighting a champ from another organization, Steel Fist, which a lot of our guys fight on as well. And so it's a legit opponent. Like, this kid grew up doing this, and this is his dream.
Yeah. I'm excited for this one. Definitely got nerves, but I think that's a good thing.
More nerves than usual?
It's about the same. I mean, I think it's about the same because my other ones, or my first fight, I just had no idea what I was getting into. So it was like, those nerves were just crazy. So they're a little calmer from the first to now. So I think I've gotten better at managing my nerves, and I do a lot of visualization as well, just at home. After I stretch, I'll just think about the fight from the walkout till even the post-fight interview. And I think that helps a lot with calming my nerves and like just being okay with what could happen, whether it's negative or positive.
Yeah. And then so like February 10th, fighting, would you say arguably the toughest guy you fought, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, do you think he's going to bring something haven't seen before? Like,
I don't think he'll bring something I haven't seen. I mean, I think he'll just be more ready to throw down. These other guys, I just kind of sprung on them real quick and they couldn't handle the pressure. I feel like he might be able to handle the pressure for a little bit until I really start to break him. I want a first-round finish, but I'm not banking on a first-round finish. I'm down
for me, I'd be getting worried, honestly. Okay, let me just give my honest thoughts. Like, if I get 3 guys out 3 in a row first round, I'd be worried about it. I wouldn't even say imposter syndrome. You don't want to start thinking, well, that was lucky, because obviously you did a ton of training. But I'd start getting worried about, well, what happens if we go to deeper water? Do I have something in the tank for that? I mean, obviously you're in you got your cardio up, but do those things come into consideration with you as a coach, with you as a fighter? Like, okay, we need to prepare for later rounds? I mean, I'd be getting scared that I'm only getting guys in the first round. Because when I don't get some in the first round, what happens after? Because it's all unknown for you after the first round.
It is, yeah. It's true. I just think I have to trust myself and believe in what I know I can do and believe that I'll come out on top. Like, that's just what it has to be. Because
that's where the trust, I think, in your training.
Yeah.
Like, are you around guys that can go,
Yeah.
Can you do it? And that's like the hard thing about it is like you do have to trust your training, but you don't know what it feels like until you're in there, which is true. But then at the end of the day, everyone gets tired. Like, no matter how hard you train, if you're in a tough fight going in the third round, like you're tired. Yeah, it sucks. Like your arms hurt, everything hurts, blood's pumping. No matter who you are, like we all get tired. It's just like, and that's what I'm saying. Where like the DDP Strickland fight is, Strickland just used to being in that deep water and just keeps going, while like the more explosive DDP is gonna have a rude awakening.
I don't know about that. Okay, well, Fierce Fighting, February 10th. If you had to give advice to somebody who's coming into it brand new, Talon, I mean, you haven't been in it long. 3 fights, three first round knockouts. What are you telling the incredibly sexy, handsome volunteer firefighter on day one?
I think consistency is the most important thing. Just being consistent in the gym, getting the reps. That's the biggest part of it. That's what it was with soccer. I spent more than 10,000 hours on a soccer field, and I got really good at soccer. So it's the same thing with MMA. I just want to spend time on the mats and get better and better every single day. Kaizen.
No secrets, hard work.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, honestly, you've been one of the most exciting guys to watch in these fierce fights. I've watched a couple of them, but we're always glad to have you representing the pit. And dude, honestly, it's exciting to watch. I'll be in your corner this time I hear. And
yeah, let's go.
Just yelling out the call sign. Just kidding.
Yeah, hey,
Ramsey would never let me in the corner.
Hey, and then the coach and the casual, we might be on the mics at the Fierce Fighting. So
yeah, we got something lined up.
Yeah, we might be calling the main event that night. So we're gonna see if we can line that up.
Hell yeah.
I got promised by the owner, but we were a couple drinks deep. So we'll see if that hits.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We're really excited.
Hey, shout out to your sponsor.
Yeah, sponsor and where to find you on socials and everything.
Let me shout out Water and Wellness, Sugar Splash, Dr. Brett at Life Cracks, and also you can find me at Talon Carvalho, TALON _Carvalho on Instagram. That's all I have.
You spelled the wrong one. You need to spell the last name.
Yeah, you're right. TALON _CARVALHO.
Yeah. That's what it's got to spell.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Hell yeah. Well, dude, we're really excited for it. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into the Coach and the Casual this week. We've loved having Talon on. Make sure to tune into Fierce Fighting February 10th. You can find it all over the damn place. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share the channel. We'd love having you on the ride. Let's go. Thanks for tuning into the Coach and the Casual. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and share it with your friends. Thanks again.